Welcome to RNG episode number 48, I believe.
Oh, God, 48, dude. I think we're already nearing fucking 50. I think we're there.
I like how every time we start, we're always like, this is the episode. And then it's always like, oh, man, number 48. You know, we have
I'm
to talk
waiting for
about it.
50. I'm waiting.
We can just skip. The next episode is technically 50. I mean, this is technically 50 after the episode we skipped and then the episode with Noah. You know, this is technically the 50th one we've recorded.
I think Noah was the downfall of RNG Podcast, dude, if I'm being honest with you. It fucked up the timings.
Everything went downhill from there.
Oh, yeah. That was, not good.
The organization, you know, the consistency had been there. And then after that, who's to say, really? But
no, yeah. At that point, it's like, what's really happening, you know?
Yeah.
What's really going on?
So I've got some things to talk about this week.
Go for it, dude.
First off, I got to talk about Grapless. You know, the game that I mentioned last week, and I sent Raj an invite, and he said he's gonna play, which he didn't. But you know,
I said I'd play at 4, dude.
You know, no hard feelings. What do you mean you play at 4? What does that mean?
Nothing. I just typed in the number 4, which I don't even know what that means, to be honest.
So I lost my city. Some dude came in from one of the bigger alliances. You don't have to laugh. I spent like 2 weeks building this city. I spent 2 weeks building the city, and this dude came in, cleaned it up in like 24 hours. It's whatever.
Fucking wrecked, dude. Hey, to be honest though, man, I feel you. It sucks.
Yeah,
man, you know.
Yeah, you know that feeling.
Hard. Yeah, because I mean, the same thing would happen in Civ 5. Like, I'd be like building up this like huge civilization, and I get cucked by like one of the fucking AI that just happens to come out, you know? And
yeah,
it's just like, it is what it is, you know. You just gotta.
Typically, you're not playing Civ 5 one game for 2 weeks, but you know.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I have some other things to talk about. But what about you, Raj? Let me ask you, what is going on with you? Do you have anything to share?
As far as like my work stuff is concerned, I have a lot of like fucking gripes about the job, but then I don't think I should have any gripes. It's like a really weird thing. It's like first of all, I'm lucky enough to like get this job, right? Because it fits my schedule perfectly. It's just literally like 7 to 1. Probably even faster depending on how many appointments I have or how many I get through. But like it's a dream job in terms of like timing wise, right? It's not super like commitment oriented. It's just up to me to kind of like set the pace and everything. So I can't complain. The pay is good too. But the shit that really bothers me is probably like the whole sales portion of it. So it's like, I'm the estimator, you got the salesman, right? So I'm not the salesman, I'm the estimator. But the thing is, if I go to people's houses, and so say for example, I come to your house, right? I'm like, hey, Dylan, how's it going?
It's going well.
I'm the inspector that you called, just letting you know I'm here. So like today, for example, right? I met with this old guy who was super fucking sweet, like really old sweet guy. And I was looking through his house and everything, trying to get him a quote. And and he like was telling me like, whatever you do, Sonny, make sure you save all your money.
He didn't call you Sonny.
When you're getting old, when you get old, you need money to do house renovations. You need money to paint. And then like he was giving me the speech, and I was like, what's one advice you have for like someone my age? You know what I mean? And again, these are questions that estimators don't typically ask. But I'm just like, I'm me, you know what I mean? I'm curious. I want to just have a conversation. So the guy, we talk about life and shit. It's really dope. And at the end of it, go to his backyard, and he's like deconstructing this like really old piano from like 1890, like super old piano. And I got like a picture of it and everything. It's like a beautiful fucking piano. And then we were talking about that for a little bit. But the point I'm trying to get to is I'm having all these like great conversations and, you know, just this kind of like rapport. But I'm not the guy presenting the fucking price of the things that I'm estimating, right? I have a salesman who goes in and does that. The problem is that I'm noticing is that by the time the salesman calls, the iron is no longer hot. It's you got to strike when it's hot. So when I'm there and I'm already, you know, on my laptop on field, I'd much rather just go on my Chromebook. Yeah, I'd rather just hop on the Chromebook, get Georgie his fucking information about the fucking pricing. and then just talk to him right there. Hey, George. Hey, good thing I caught you before you left.
Here's the
I got
estimate.
the price for you. Yeah, let's have a little conversation
Let's
about
make
it.
Happen.
And I'm not guaranteeing that it happens every single time, but the chances of it happening are way
much
fucking
higher. Correct.
Way fucking, dude. So I told my friend who got me the job this in the morning. I hit him up like, we had a meeting. I just want to run some thoughts by you. And then so I was like, bro, you got to make me a salesman because there's no fucking way I'm gonna get sales this way. Like I can only do so much,
right?
On the field, like it's and he was just like, well, that's what you would call a promotion. You only did it for 2 weeks, so I can't really get you that, But I totally agree with you that you probably do need to get bumped up to sales eventually. But you're on the right track. And he was just kind of like letting me know, like all the people that called in, they were saying good things about me every time I would go meet them. So
that's what we call a promotion.
Yeah, dude. But it doesn't even feel like it should be called a promotion. It shouldn't be a promotion. It should just be the fucking job.
A realignment of responsibility. You
know what it is? Dude, honestly, it needs to be worked from the top to bottom. You know what I mean? The structure of the company is a little like, all right, man. Like, I get you got me here inspecting shit. You know how bored I get during inspections, dude? Like, I go in the morning, I go to the house.
Easy money, baby.
And no, it's easy fucking. I'm not even playing. It's such easy fucking money, but like, I'm already home at 32. I can just do whatever the fuck I want for the rest of the day. But it's like, it's easy money. So I can't really complain. Like I said, it's like a weird thing where like, I want to complain, but like, why? I already have like a good thing going. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna see like how this plays out for like
a few months. Hopefully the promotion comes rolling in. You say, hey, you give me that sales position, I'm gonna make you more money because I'm gonna close the sale. I can inspect. Dude. I can sell. I can talk. I want to know what the old guy said. What did the old guy tell you when you asked him about advice? What did he say?
Save as much money as you can. Save every fucking penny that you can. He's like, don't buy drugs, don't buy liquor, don't buy alcohol, and none of that stuff. Just save every penny you get because you're gonna need that shit when you get old in this country.
And did you tell him? Did you say, "What if I die tomorrow?" What good is it? What good is it squandering my youth and saving all of my money, not knowing if I'm gonna make it to the next day or next week,
Imagine thinking you're squandering your youth by saving money.
I'm just saying, if you don't spend your money and have fun, like what's the point of even living?
Some people don't know how to have fun with the money that they have, and then they just spend it on dumbass shit. That's usually
some people are obviously irresponsible with money and they spend it on shit they don't need. But it's like, I'm not gonna say I'm like in complete disagreement with the guy because I understand the sentiment, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes there's experiences that you want to have and you have to spend money to get there. So it's like,
no, you're right.
You can't just save your money your whole life and not spend it on anything. Like you have to enjoy your life. You have to enjoy, what are you working for if you can't spend your money?
Bro, honestly, like I had this thought today driving back from one of my appointments. Okay, so like, today was kind of bullshit. Like I literally went out to like, it was okay.
I feel like you probably say every day
I'm
is
so
bullshit.
tilted.
You probably say today was kind of bullshit,
fine.
like every day.
No, last week was fine. Right. Yesterday was fine. I'm just saying, today was bullshit because like I literally went to like 2 houses back to back, and they just told me right at the door they didn't even want a fucking assessment. But these are the same people that never answer the QC call, like the 8 times that I called them.
Right.
So it's kind of like, why the fuck did I waste my time coming here? And then I got tilted at that. But I got tilted because I realized nothing can be done about it, right? And I'm not going to do anything about it. And the company can't do anything about it. So it's like, whatever, right? But it's just like the tilt is still remaining. So like I just had this attitude like of tilt the whole day. While I was driving in traffic, I'm like, bro, what am I doing with this money that I'm getting from this job? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really like, I don't have any plans. I'm
saving it all, like the old man said.
George hit me. Yeah, George is the guy's name, by the way. But yeah, George advice is valuable. A golden nugget. Yeah, save your money. So I was thinking, I'm like, I guess I'm just saving all this fucking money. But I had the thing that you just talked about. Like, you're young. Fucking, what are you fucking earning money for if you're not going to goddamn spend it, right? So I started like really thinking to myself. I'm like, so what am I doing with my life? Am I just going to be inspecting fucking houses forever? Like, I need to like figure out like what I'm going to do with this money, what I want out of life, like a new dream. You know what I mean? I wanted to like create a new dream.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Like just move away from like all this shit that I thought that I wanted to do and just fucking figure out like a new path. Now that I have money and I'm able to like kind of buy new shit, like I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of bought like got a lot of nice shit, but I mean, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm trying to kind of figure out, you know, like a new path. I don't want to do this shit forever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but you've only been working there like 3 weeks.
2 weeks. It was my second week on the job. I probably shouldn't be like this.
The third week? I thought the first week was training. That counts as a week.
I guess, yeah, if you count. Well, I got paid for that, so technically, I guess
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You're right.
I can only imagine what are you spending your money on? First off, you're making like not great money, but decent money for somebody who isn't paying rent, you know? Like,
yeah, I have no debts.
You're making pretty good money for somebody who doesn't really have any like big financial responsibilities, right?
At all. Like, it's actually pretty great. So
oh my god. So what do you buy?
So look, I wanted to get into music for a while. I've been trying to figure out how the fuck. So I bought a $123 MIDI keyboard with like those drum pads and shit on it, like the Akai thing. That's kind of sick. I got that.
Yeah,
I got that.
That's sick.
So I'm chilling with that, dude. I got that at my place right now. So just, you know, working on that, banging away on the old Akai sound machine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, that's like kind of the main thing that I've kind of been spending that money on. I know it's not anything too crazy.
That's where it starts, dude. I mean? Music equipment is a deep hole.
It's fucking expensive, fam. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, you can spend as much as you want, basically.
And it really doesn't. You don't even need like all that equipment. Like if you know
not
what
anymore,
the fuck.
You don't.
Not anymore. Well, plus that, but also like it's like YouTube. Like you got all these people like buying expensive ass cameras and like lighting and like all this other shit, but they're fucking dog shit when it comes to making content. So it's like you're not getting fucking results because it's not the quality of the equipment. Although that does matter if you know what you're doing, but it's knowing what you're doing. That's the important part. You got to know what the fuck you're doing.
It's like, the whole concept of what is it when like you spend money or like you buy equipment, right? And like the quality will go up and up, but eventually it hits a point. Something returns, right? Depreciating? It's not depreciating. It's you know what I'm saying. It's gonna bug me that I can't figure it out. But
I don't know what you're saying.
Diminishing. That's what it is. Diminishing returns. Meaning that, you know, on YouTube, let's use YouTube as an example, right? Where you're buying your lighting, you're buying all this shit. So it's like you can buy a good camera, you can buy good lighting, you can spend a lot of money, but it's like once you hit a certain point, spending a $10,000 camera isn't that much better than a $5,000 camera. Okay?
Right.
But a $5,000 camera is better than a $500 camera. So as you spend more money, like the benefit you're getting is smaller and smaller is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's huge.
So you gotta get that part right before, you know, you got to spend like the 5,000, but not the 10.
And something else to consider too, because that's a good point. But another thing to consider also is like I tried explaining this to my friend today while I was talking about like the job and the sales thing. Usually what happens is at the end of like a work day, I debrief with like my senior guy, and then like, he gets all the information for whatever I did. So the problem is there's only so much information I can give him about how my interactions went with the client, right? And if he's not there or he doesn't know how to apply that information in a social context to when he's doing the actual pitch itself, that information is absolutely fucking meaningless, right? And so it's kind of similar in that you like whatever it is that you're doing, if it comes to like making videos, you have to like know how the information you're taking in can be applied to what you want to do. Like if you have no idea how to apply that shit, the information or the equipment isn't ever going to help you, you know? So it's like a knowledge base. You got to like kind of build that up as you do it.
Build your knowledge base, save your money. The lifelong tips from the RNG podcast that you walk away with, you know?
Really, it's from George. It's not even from us. I mean, let's be honest. George,
we're relaying the information. Everything is secondhand information these days.
Yeah, true.
True. Anyway, I'm going to pivot the conversation to talk about myself. We talked about you. Just got that out of the way. I've had an exciting week.
Always fucking talking about you.
I've. What else am I supposed to talk about? You? I'm tired of talking about you. Let's talk about me.
Dude, Lil Roger, idiot. I'm joking. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
So I did some stuff today not today. I had a job interview today. Went well. I'll keep you updated on that. That's all I'm going to say on that. But
okay.
Last weekend, I got out of my comfort zone. I did something different. And I gotta warn everybody, it's going to get a little political here just because what I did was get involved with the political process. So we can't avoid politics. We're not a political podcast, but
you voted?
We're going to get a little I voted like 2 weeks ago, dude. Early voting. Did you vote?
I missed it. I'm not going to lie to you. I missed it. Boo. My whole family missed it. Here's the thing.
I want everybody in the comments. Day off. I want everybody in the comments to collectively boo you for not voting.
Okay, wait, hold on. Before everyone boos me, I just got to say it, right? This country is fucking dog shit when it comes to voting.
No excuses.
First of all, this day, a voting day should be a day off for everybody in America.
I think everybody should agree with that.
The fact that it's not like that is fucking ridiculous. Because you texted me like in the middle of my appointments, so I couldn't get back to you for a little bit. And then fucking, I remember my sister didn't like tell my parents usually like know from me or my sister, right? So I totally forgot to even like tell them. My sister told them like way later on in the day. By that time, my entire family, except for my sister, had missed the entire voting process. Mm-hmm. Like our votes did not count because this fucking country can't set up a proper goddamn day off. Maybe that too, but if I had a day off today to just go vote and take care of all my political shit, maybe people would be more informed. Maybe people would take the time to really make a better decision instead of just like, oh shit, I got work in 15. I gotta just go quick, like vote for whoever the fuck. Like,
and like some of the lines, like in California, were ridiculous. Especially, I don't know how California works. In Utah, they will give you a ballot. They send you a ballot in the mail, and you get it like 3 or 4 weeks before like the primary, right? So I got my ballot like at the beginning of February, essentially like a weekend. And I voted, I put it in my mailbox, and I was done. So I don't know how California works with that. A lot of states do have mail-in ballots, which I think is the way to go. If your state only allows you to vote on election day, it's fucked. Because it's like a Tuesday, and it doesn't make sense.
No, California works the way you just described. I was just a fucking idiot.
So you're a fucking idiot. You deserve to be booed.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, boo me, boys. I'll take that. Go ahead.
But anyway... So what I did this weekend is I got online, I've been watching, I loosely watch the Democratic debates. And the last debate that there was, had all the candidates, and basically it turned out, I don't know if it's like this for all the debates, but for this debate you had to pay like $2,000 to get a seat in the audience.
Some rich people shit.
So they were booing my boy Bernie. I'm a Bernie supporter. And they were booing my boy Bernie. And I was like, that's fucked up. I don't like this. And I said, I'm going to do something about this. So I volunteered for Bernie, and I went and I knocked on some doors.
Nice.
And I'd never done anything like this before. If you go to berniesanders.com, they have the events. You go in there, you sign up. I signed up. I rode the bus down to some random dude's house, David, the homie David. And David was pretty chill. Seemed like a pretty decent dude. I walked into his house. He had a little dog running around. Turns out the guy is like, he's like an in-between home for pets. So like he'll...
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, he'll like, have pets at his house that aren't his, but he like feeds them and takes care of them and stuff until they can find a home or whatever, which I was like, that's fucking legit. Good dude.
What a sweetheart, man.
So David already had, good impression. And I said, how many people are showing up? Because I was the first dude there. And there's like 5 minutes. He's like, oh, we had like 5 or 6 people. Turns out nobody showed up, just me and David. So I'm not sure.
State of our country.
John, you're telling me, dude. You're
state of our fucking country.
80% of the people that said they RSVP'd and they weren't there.
Jesus.
Letting me down. So the way this works, because I didn't know how this works, is basically you download an app on your phone, you get a list of houses to go knock on the door, right? And since Bernie's running as a Democrat, we only knock on doors of people who are registered Democrats. So I don't have any stories about like Trump supporters like cussing us out or anything. Somebody at your door? You need to get that?
Yeah. Give me 1 sec.
Somebody coming to get your vote? Was that more musical equipment from Amazon? Was it like a little package drop off?
That's a little Moo Burger Barn, dude. I feel like I deserve a little food around.
Are you gonna be eating some Moo Burger Barn burger on the episode?
I don't
Eat
know.
it, dude. Go ahead. This sounds so good right now.
No,
This
it's
is-
fucking fire.
This is a new segment, Lunch with Raja, where we hear ASMR, of Raj eating whatever he's having for lunch that day.
You can just hear me sipping on my whiskey. Hold on 1 sec.
You got your little, what'd you call that? A dram? You got your dram over there?
Dram. I got a little dram around me, dude.
Whiskey and Moo burger bar.
Dude, this is how I like to eat nowadays.
That's life.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like whatever. Anyway, before I go on that tangent, go ahead. What are you saying about going?
We can go on the tangent. I'm just gonna kind of talk about how my experience was.
Okay.
So here's how it went. It went well. We knocked on probably like 20 doors, which doesn't seem like a lot, but where I live is not a very heavily populated area, and the areas that are populated are not Democrat. So,
gotcha. Okay.
it'd be like one house per block, and then you'd walk, and maybe you'd find like an apartment, have like 3 doors or whatever. The majority of people were not home. This was a Saturday. So
Maybe they didn't want to answer the door either.
I know, dude. Couple of white dudes at the door. There's like a couple options. In Utah, it could just be Mormon missionaries. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of people didn't answer. The people that did answer, they were all pretty receptive, and everybody's like, yeah, we like Bernie, but we have some other people we want to vote for. No, not true.
I like Bernie, but I'm going to just go ahead and vote over there.
I like Bernie, but I'm a vote Trump.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But yeah, had some decent conversations with people, had some people
Nice.
thinking about some stuff. There was this one house I went in, I knocked on the door, and like this older lady answered, and I was like, hey, I'm Dylan, I'm with the Bernie Sanders campaign, just talking to people. And I was like, is Joshua home? And she was like glaring at me. She was not happy I was there. And
Yikes,
she
dude.
just like stares at me and says, Joshua lives in Idaho. And I was like, all right. And I was like, okay, thanks. And I was like, damn. And I think, so when you download the app and it gives you like the name of the person, right? It gives you like their name. And it gives you their age as well. So,
Nice.
well, I mean, you say it's nice, but it's kind of like nerve wracking when you get somebody who's like 18, 19 years old, because it's supposed to list all the voters that are registered in the house. So if there's only one person on there, it's like, this is probably some high school kid that's living with their parents. And I'm going to knock on the door and their parents are like, not Democrats.
Right. Okay, I get you.
And it's like, they might not even know that their kid is registered as a Democrat. So it's like kind of like the double-edged sort of like, or maybe like the double whammy of knocking on the door. And it's like a Trump supporter comes forward and then you tell them that their kid's a Democrat and they're like, hold on.
hold on real quick. Can we gotta talk to Timmy over here.
Yeah, I
real
gotta talk to
quick.
Timmy.
Go ahead.
But that's basically what I did this weekend. It went well. I hope a few more people, went out and voted for Bernie. That's my guy. So, and then Monday, I don't mean to talk. I typically don't talk this much, so I apologize, to the viewers. But Raj is eating his moo burger.
No, I'm not eating anything. I'm actually just inputting some shit into work while listening to you.
Raj is getting paid right now.
I'm getting paid, but well, no. Here's the thing. Honestly, I love that you're talking a lot because it's good listening to you after just listening to myself talk a lot throughout the day. So I'd rather just listen to you. So yeah, just keep going.
This is Grizz Radio right now.
I like that.
So, I went and knocked on doors. I was all fired up, feeling good. And I learned prior to that, like the day before I went and knocked on doors, I learned that Bernie was coming to Utah. He's going to hold a rally in Salt Lake.
Ooh,
and I was
nice.
like, damn, I got to go to that. Because how many times, am I going to see a presidential candidate or somebody who I actually believe in, right? There's a difference between me going and being like, oh, Trump's coming to Utah. I'll go see Trump, because it's like, Not a big Trump fan. But Bernie, I'm a big Bernie fan. So I was like, that'll be dope. So on Monday, he was in Salt Lake. I took the train up and walked down to a Utah State Fair Park, which is basically, it's just like where they hold the state fair.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever been to the state fair. You been to the state fair?
I've been to my own state fair. It's not that.
The California State Fair?
I don't really like it. Well, no, actually, it wasn't even a state fair. It was like a county fair, which is in the same. Right?
I feel like a state fairs just seem like a white people thing. I don't know if that's true or.
It probably is, to be honest.
It seems like a super white people thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a good funnel cake. They didn't have any funnel cake at the State Fair Park because there wasn't a state fair going on. But probably about 5,000 people showed up is what they're estimating. I stood in the crowd. They had like a little musical number. You know, they had like a local band sang some songs. And then they had some local speakers come up. And then Bernie came out. You know, everybody was cheering for him. We're all fucking amped for our boy.
Hell yeah.
And he comes up, he cracks some jokes, says some funny shit.
A little stand-up material.
He's been practicing his stand-up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty amped. So it's pretty cool. I posted a picture on Instagram. So check it out. You know, Instagram.com/grizzlyberry. Grizzlyberry with a 1 instead of an L because, you know. But yeah. That was basically it. I mean, not a whole lot happened. I went back to the train. The trains were fucked up and there was some delay. So it took me like 3 hours to get home instead of like 1. But, you know, it was worth it. Go see the boy Bernie. And yeah.
Honestly, that's a really cool story because fucking I always wanted to do something like that where like I got into the political process a little bit. I think what's interesting was when you like were first saying like, you know, you saw Bernie kind of getting like shit on basically like by a bunch of people. And then that like kind of prompted you to go make a change, which I think is really dope. It's like one part of you really caring about the country and another part of you actually going, you know what? I'm not going to just virtue signal on a fucking podcast or whatever. Like I'm actually going to go and make a difference. Now, when you went and did that, were there other people that are with you that kind of were there for the same exact reason you were?
I mean, like as far as knocking on doors, like I said, it was just me and one other dude. And he had only started doing it the week before. So he'd only gone once. But it must have had enough of an impact on it because you have to register as a host to like have an event.
Oh, so, really? Okay.
Yeah. But
yeah, that's a lot of work. Yeah, yeah, you definitely have to be dedicated for that. Yeah,
it's like you're saying with like the virtue signaling. I think you know, I come on here. I've talked on the podcast, so we've talked about it before. I'm like, oh yeah, Bernie, but like I haven't really done anything. And like that's one of the big things about Bernie's movement is that he's drawing people into the political process, right? Like people like me who I've never voted in a presidential election. And it's like my first year, and it's my first year that I've been invested and like feel like it's important. I guess in the past, like it's always been the same where it's just like, oh, whatever, you know. But now it's like I'm kind of invested in it, and like, you know, this is for the future of our country and everything. And a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, like my vote doesn't count or whatever. And to a certain extent, I understand that viewpoint because that's how I used to feel as well. But during the primaries, your vote counts like way more. You know, like in Utah is typically a Republican state. So when the presidential election rolls around, my vote for Bernie or whoever the Democratic candidate isn't really going to matter that much because the state is going to be red. All the votes are going to go to Trump.
Right. Yeah. That's
but
a good thing.
During the Democratic debate or Democratic primary, what happens is like you get a certain percent of the vote. If you get past 15% of the vote, you get a certain number of delegates. And then all that goes into like how they decide who the nominee is, right? Whoever has like the majority of delegates, if you pass, I think you have to pass like 1900 or something like that. And then that's who becomes the nominee.
Oh, cool. I didn't actually know about that. That's a cool system.
Yeah. So it's like, it's actually representative of the people. So like in California, you know, Bernie got like 36 or something. He got over 30% of the vote. So he gets like, you know, a larger share of the delegates than someone like Biden or Warren would get.
Right.
So it's chill because like your vote actually counts, and it's like, you're not just throwing it away. Now, when the general election comes around and you're voting for the candidate, it does kind of feel like that. For you, you're in a blue state. So if you vote or not, California is going to vote Democrat. I'm in a red state. If I vote or not, it's going to be a red state. But I think what's important about it is showing the youth turnout. And when I say the youth turnout, I mean people under the age of 30.
Right.
So I think a lot of us are kind of fed up with the system. And one of the reasons the system's so fucked is because just historically young people don't get out and vote, especially our generation. Right. And when young people don't vote, candidates don't cater their views towards the young people because they say, it's like, it doesn't make sense. Why should I change my views or align my views with these people who aren't going to vote to begin with? And that's kind of like where Bernie's at, right? Like Bernie has these viewpoints that a lot of us agree with, but young people don't show out and vote. So it's like so much of his campaign relies on the youth turnout. So if young people don't turn out, then it's like, it's just shitty.
No, that's a huge thing to also remember. Yeah. Even being a young person, because a lot of young people get jaded, but it's probably because of that reason, right? It's just not enough people show up.
It's kind of like this catch-22 of, I'm not going to vote because these people don't represent me. But then people who do represent you don't run because young people don't vote. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to vote and get involved to show candidates that it's worth catering towards you. So anyway, that's kind of my political spiel. Sorry if like I said, we're not a political podcast, but sometimes, when we get involved in the political process, you just gotta share. I'm still rooting for Bernie. He's behind a little bit after Super Tuesday, but I have faith in the boy. I have faith in the people to show up and volunteer. And if any of you guys listening want to talk about, Bernie and his policies, if you're on the fence, hit me up on Twitter, send me a DM, whatever. I'll talk to you. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that.
That's nice, dude. We got a little burn bro. Burn bro, is that what they call them?
Bernie bro.
A Bernie bro, yeah, burn bro.
Bernie bro.
Burn bot. Burn bot. No, you're not a bot.
A burn bot.
That's cool as fuck, though, man. I'm glad you actually went out and did something about that shit, because I for sure fucking didn't. Someone had to on the podcast.
I know you did.
Yeah, someone had to kind of represent our political sphere.
Somebody had to represent the RNG podcast on the ballot.
Man, I'm not going to lie. I feel like I'm one of the biggest virtue signalers, because I'll definitely hop on here and be like, fuck this corrupt fucking guy, man. We don't fucking need them. Fuck them. And I'm just like really about that energy until it comes to actually doing something about it. And then I never do anything fucking about it. You know what I mean? And that's always the worst shit, man. So that's definitely a note I'm going to take. I'm going to try to I'm going to see if I can get involved. But again, like you were saying, it's just, I'm in a blue state. So it's like, no matter what the fuck I do, I'm pretty sure some guy.
Right now, what you can do, I'm gonna just go on a little spiel here.
Help me out.
What you can do if you're wanting to support Bernie or other candidates, I want people to vote for who they believe in and who represents them. And in my case, that's Bernie. That might not be the case for you, but I encourage you to look at the whole picture. I encourage you to look at their voting record, not just what they say. I encourage you to look at not maybe who's just best for you, but who's best for the country as a whole. Because I think people vote selfishly too often. For me, like a lot of Bernie's policies, like you have like Medicare for all, tuition-free public colleges. Like I'm almost done with school. I don't have any student debt. I don't have any medical debt. A lot of the issues that Bernie is trying to resolve haven't directly impacted me, right?
Right.
But I think that it's something that the country as a whole could benefit from. So it's like, I just think that we should try and help each other out. I think the United States is too individualistic. We need to be looking at more of a collective system, more of a community. We should look out for our neighbors. We should care about one another.
Right.
And I think that's what Bernie represents. But if you do want to support Bernie, you can download the app. You can volunteer to call people. You can volunteer to text people if you have social anxiety like me. So it's like, there's a lot of things you can do. There's still plenty of states coming up that need to vote. So if you can reach out to those voters and be like, hey, support Bernie, or just kind of plant the seed of Bernie in their mind. So
Wait, so the thing about social anxiety that you brought up is always really interesting to me because I definitely have a lot of that shit, and I think probably a lot of reviewers
mhm,
probably, you know what I mean. I think it's just one of those like widespread sort of issues across society, especially with
right.
younger people. So how did you get over that fear of just like knocking on door? Or okay, well, you already told me like how the decision came up, but like how did you just like you know just decide like fuck it, I'm just gonna knock on this door and I'm just gonna talk to these people. Like I don't even fucking
Right.
know these people, and then I have this anxiety. But like, what was like that feeling for you? Like, what made you just dive in there?
Well, I think it's a combination of factors. First off, I was kind of pissed off
Mm-hmm.
about the crowd booing Bernie when he was talking about perfectly reasonable things.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of like set the fire, lit the fire under my ass. And I was like, okay, you know what? I need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And there had been some guilt building up, about like, oh, I support Bernie, but I haven't really become a part of this movement. I haven't really volunteered any of my time.
Right.
So you got that. And then it's also, the whole idea of, hey, I want to have an experience that I haven't had before. I think it's important to get involved in the political process. And I've been a
Mm-hmm.
hypocrite when I say that sort of thing, but I haven't actually done it. Right.
Yeah.
Um, so I think like one of the biggest ways that you can grow as a person is to put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you should seek out those situations, right? Where it's like, I don't really feel good about this. I know it's going to be really hard and awkward. And it's like, I feel like you just have to do it. Um, and I think I can put up a pretty good front. There's like a whole facade, of this confidence that I knock on a
Mm-hmm.
door. I put a smile on my face. I feel like I don't want to say I'm like charismatic, but
Mm-hmm.
compared to a lot of people who do struggle with social anxiety, I think I do pretty well in social situations for the most part.
Okay.
I sweat profusely, but that's why you put on you put on a little jacket, nobody can tell. You just
Right.
you keep it cool. So
Right.
I think it's just all those factors kind of coming together and being like, you know what, I need to do something, make an impact in my community, and try and get people out. Utah won, Bernie won
Mm-hmm.
Utah, so
Nice. I don't know about that. That's dope.
I'll take the credit. It's fine.
Hey, you were a part of that, man. I feel like if Bernie ever does any kind of like I guess recount on like all the people that helped him, you're gonna be on like the long list of credits that roll by.
There you go.
That's dope.
I think for the longest time I was just kind of like, oh, I don't have time because I'm in school, so I'll just donate. So like I put off volunteering because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can just donate instead. But I feel like obviously money makes a difference, but I feel like being able to have like a conversation with the person about it, I feel like makes more
Mm-hmm.
of a difference. So I just think I think with like social anxiety in general, like if you're trying to combat that
Mm-hmm.
situation, you literally just have to like face it head on. Cause like it's never gonna get any better if you don't try to make it better. And
Yeah.
the only way you can make it better is by talking to people. Like I
Dude,
get
that's
social
fucking
anxiety
huge. Yeah.
when it's like somebody who I haven't somebody that I like and I'm
Mm-hmm.
close with and I haven't seen them like for several months. Just like I
Right.
get social anxiety around people I care about, let alone strangers.
That's huge, dude. I get that shit too. Like, especially with like friends, dude. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, friends who meet me from like a while back and I haven't talked to them for a while. If I just randomly see them, I'm just like, I don't really. I feel like I don't really want to talk to you right now. Not because I
Yeah.
hate that person, but it's just like I don't know. For me, it's like I have to be in the right headspace to like
Mhm.
interact with people. Like if I'm working and I'm like going to people's houses, it's like a different context socially, right?
Right.
Like for example, like I got this gym nearby that opened up. It's like the new hot big gym. Like everyone fucking goes to it in town.
Hot big Jim.
Yeah, it's where all the fucking motherfuckers go.
Hell yeah.
And I'll just get away with the
Yeah,
fucking
I'm gonna have to
town name.
bleep it. It's fine.
Go ahead and bleep that. But anyways, fucking all these people from my old high school and people that I've seen during like the high school days from other high schools, they all go to that one gym. And it's honestly the best gym in the whole town because it's the cheapest and it's the biggest for the price that they offer. And so I currently go to like a really tiny fucking gym and I fucking hate that gym because I see too many people I know there. And I hate fucking talking to people that I know. And even more so, I hate just how fucking tiny and claustrophobic that gym makes me feel. So like I want to just buy into the new gym It's pretty cheap, but too many people I know go there. Way too many people.
So
And
you
they're all
can't
gonna wanna
go to the new
talk.
gym or the old gym
No, I'm like
for the
gymless
same
right
reason.
now. For the same reason. Well, no, the small one is more so because I don't like the space. Like by the time I get to the gym, all the fucking machines are taken. I'm just like, fuck my life, dude. I don't know why I'm paying for this.
Same.
Well, I mean, I'm not paying for the small one, so I'm kind of getting away with it. But yeah, it's mainly just the other one.
I think like with the whole social anxiety, I think like one of the biggest things about it, right, is you're the one to initiate. Like when it's like I'm knocking on the doors, I'm able to mentally prepare myself for that, which is way different than if somebody was to knock on my door. So I think that's like a big factor as well. Like if I get a phone call out of the blue and I'm not like mentally prepared to take that shit, I hate it.
No, that's real.
But you got to mentally prepare. Anyway, I want to pivot from the social anxiety. I want to talk about the gym.
My boy's fucking pivoting, bro.
Because you're talking about the gym. I want to talk about the gym. Let me talk about the gym I go to.
Have you been hitting up the gym?
I've been hitting the gym.
Nice. Okay.
2-3 times a week. Nothing big. I only do cardio. I don't fuck with the weights. Fuck the weights, dude.
You got to, man. You gotta get in there, man. You gotta get in there.
Fuck them. But we have an indoor track at my university. We have a nice gym, and that's what I go to. Because Kate has class late at night, so like instead of just sitting around on my computer for like an hour, I decided I'm gonna start going to the gym. Right. So I've been going to the gym, running some laps on the track. I've been doing about 6 miles every time I go. My pace, I ran the best pace I've ever had for a 6 mile run yesterday. I ran a 7:28 mile.
Ooh, that's nice. That's nice.
I'm planning on training for the there's a marathon in Salt Lake that I want to go to in April. So that's kind of my goal. Anyway, that's all I have to talk about as in regards to the gym.
Yeah, dude, I wish I had the same motivation as you when it comes to the gym, man. I've been really lacking because I feel like every time I come back from work, like it's still early in the day. But the thing is, I drive around a lot for like the hours that I am doing it. So by the time I get home, like I just don't want to fucking drive. I just want to like.
You gotta run. You gotta move.
I gotta move. That's the thing. So like I gotta like figure out what I want to do.
I think the key. Like the reason it's so easy for me to go to the gym is because I'm already at the school and I don't have anything else. Like Kate's in class, I'm gonna be stuck there for an hour, you know?
Right.
So like everybody says the key is when you get off work, instead of going home, just go straight to the gym. Because they say as soon as you're home, as soon as you shut that door, it's over.
It really fucking is
over, dude.
It's fucking over. Like I don't even understand. Like, yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, and that's a good idea though, to honestly go to the gym like right after you get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean if you can swing it. I just know you get off of work like maybe 1-2 o'clock or whatever, but then you have to go home and you have like a debrief, and it's like I don't know if you can just, you know.
Well, okay, so I typically like to get home around like 1:30. So like my debrief starts at like around 4. So like I have time until 4. So
have
like
time to do like an RNG podcast or something.
Yeah, and this time I could just go to the gym or something, you know what I mean, or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know. I get home, it takes me like 30 to 40 minutes to put in all the data into the fucking system, so like everything's updated by the time I debrief, and then I can do whatever the fuck I want. So that's like technically when my day ends, like around 2. But that's still a long time until like fucking, you know what I mean. But I tend to sleep nowadays around like 10:30ish because I gotta wake up at like 6 or 7. So like, you know. Yeah, so I know I want to be more productive in my day. Like, yeah, I'm making money. Yeah, I got a job. I got that part checked out. But I have to like do all the other shit that comes along with it, like going to the gym and like you know working on content, all this other stuff that I want to do.
Eating food, cooking meals, unless you just get moo-moos. But I mean, you know.
I mean, that's once in a while. But dude, fucking
once in a while could turn into every day. Trust me, dude.
Oh, no, yeah. No, you can trust me, dude. I went through that just a month ago. So I know how that feels. I was going to say, you know, going, I said earlier, like how I wanted to like change my dream up a little bit, do some like other shit while I was like driving back home. And one of the things is with content, I have to like let go of like all these like old like aspirations I had for it. Cause realistically speaking, I'm just not that dude anymore. And I can't really like imagine myself doing that shit. So like, I don't know. I'm trying to reinvent. I'm trying to reinvent.
Reinvent.
I'm trying to reinvent my fucking like my story, I guess. Like there's this Kevin Hart bit where on Joe Rogan he was like, everyone has like a story in their life, right? Everyone's writing a book, and then you get to kind of decide like with each chapter what is going to be happening that year, right? Or what's going to be happening in your story, and only you can kind of dictate how that goes. For example, you went out and did something you never did, the political, the Bernie support. But for me, it's just like I want to do something completely different that like I feel like I've never done when it comes to making content. And I feel like now more than ever, I want to do it because if I can make more money doing that, then I'd rather just do that than this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like,
I mean, obviously.
it's just more, yeah, it's like just motivation at this point. So like, I'm gonna be working on that today, probably after this podcast and everything's over. Like really sitting down, fucking figuring out what I want out of my fucking life, dude. I'm gonna rewrite, a lot of
It's
shit.
tough, dude. Like
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I feel like it's a constant. It's because it's constantly changing, right? Like what you want, I feel like is always evolving. I don't feel like there's ever a point where you're just like, this is what I want, and I'm gonna go for that. Because once you get that thing, like you're not just gonna be satisfied. Or I mean, maybe some people would be, but I feel like typically once I achieve one goal, it's like, all right, let me choose another one and try for that.
Right. Yeah, that's also another thing. Just kind of being able to understand like, okay, this is what I want out of life at this point, but I don't know, like I get really hung up on shit that I wanted before. Like that's another thing. Like once I started I guess, well, I mean it's only been like a couple weeks, but once I started like earning like a paycheck and I was able to like buy bigger items and shit and I have to like worry about like, uh borrowing money or whatever. It's just like I started kind of realizing like, bro, I have no actual direction. Like I have all these like dreams and ideas and shit,
Right.
which is fine. And I came up with all that shit back when like I didn't have a job or like back when like I wasn't really like mature and wasn't trying to figure out life. But now that like I'm at this point, I have to like I said, I gotta reinvent the entire thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. That's the current kind of process for me.
The current process. I like it.
Working through it,
And we can work through it together only
Hell yeah,
here
dude.
at rngpodcast.com.
Fuck yeah, dude. Working on that, dude. Trying to be more healthier. I'm like I've been on keto and I lost a lot of weight on it. Like I look pretty good now.
Looking
double
good.
chin. Looking
Progress
good, but feeling
pics.
like
Let's
shit.
see some
Feeling
progress
like shit, though. Hey,
pics.
feeling like shit though. You know what I mean? Because keto does not make you feel good. I'll be honest with you. I think maybe that's why I've been like really grumpy as of late. Like just I don't know. Just,
Grumpy
like,
ass,
my
dude.
diet. Yeah, diet's been fucking with me maybe a little bit too much. I don't know. Gotta figure it
Too
out.
much moo. So when you get a moo, what do you do with the bun? Did you
I
order
just
the bun?
Tell them to remove the bun and put a lettuce wrap over it. And
They
then
do that in
just-
moo.
Yeah.
They do that everywhere? Can you do that at
Any-
McDonald's?
Yeah, any burger place. You can go to McDonald's and do it too.
No way.
They have to because a
No
lot
way.
of like they don't want to lose customers based on the fact that they can't put like a piece of lettuce over like like a piece of bun. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hey,
they're gonna fucking do it like to get your money. So
Well, McDonald's wrap a burger in lettuce.
plus, I feel like it's cheaper for lettuce wrap compared to like putting a bun on it. You know,
I'm just. It looks like they do. Looks like they'll do it.
dude, everyone does it, dude.
That's crazy.
How's that crazy? You never knew this?
I got to go get a lettuce. I like a bun though. I like a good bun.
Well, you're not doing fucking keto. I don't know why. If I wasn't on keto, I'd go for the Kaiser bun, which is like soaked in butter. It just tastes fucking amazing.
Damn, dude, I gotta get a. When am I getting a moo trip?
Whenever the fuck you come out here, kid. I don't know.
We
when
gotta
you're
get some
gonna be out here.
podcast sponsorships to pay for my moo trip.
Hey, my company bought a sponsor.
Hey, all right,
Let's go, dude. Oh man.
All
All right.
right.
Well, do you have anything else to talk about?
I got
If
nothing. I'm
not,
done.
I got nothing,
BernieSanders.com.
man. Yeah, RNGpodcast.com. Official sponsors of Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
I support Bernie too, man. I didn't vote
This
for him.
is the official
you know.
Bernie endorsement.
If I say that, like I support him, but I didn't vote for him, so I kind of feel like I got.
Well, you didn't vote for anybody.
I didn't vote for anybody at that
You
point.
kind of fucked up.
But I verbally support him. I'll virtue signal, dude. I'm okay with virtue signaling, dude. I'm all right.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks for
All right,
listening.
man.
We'll catch you next week. We won't be talking about politics, and we're still probably going to talk about moo-moos, but
That's the RNG way.
that's the RNG way.
All
Catch
right,
us
boys.
next week as we reinvent ourselves.
Yes, sir. All right, boys.
All right.
We'll see you next time. Peace.